Hey you guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. Today we are sharing our first round of fall Dollar Tree DIYs, and I'm going to share with you guys a few ways that I've decorated areas in my house using all Dollar Tree items. Alright y'all, without further ado, let's get started on these fall DIYs. For the first DIY, we're going to make the most amazing mop pumpkin. We're going to need a Dollar Tree microfiber mop, a pumpkin, and chalk paint. I've already painted my pumpkin white just to make it a little bit easier, and you're going to deconstruct the mop by just cutting it right off the head. I'm using my favorite Gorilla hot glue to adhere it right to the pumpkin, and all you're going to do is just go from the top to the bottom, and you're going to go all the way around. When I was putting on each of the strings, I tried to do it in a pattern, so I would do white, then I'd do gray, then I'd do white, then I would do gray. This makes it look a little bit more uniform. You don't have to do that, and I found it was a lot easier if I did a small thin strip of hot glue down the entire pumpkin and then attached it that way. This way you won't see any of the gaps or any of the white, and it looks like it was actually like more sewn or crocheted on rather than just glued on. In certain areas of the pumpkins, the holes start to get smaller, so you either need to cut smaller pieces in length, or you can take one super long piece of the Dollar Tree microfiber mop, and you can take it from the top and take it to the bottom, glue it down, and then take that same piece and take it back up to the top and glue it. Do this until the hole closes, and instead of having it overlapping each other, it'll look much better. Now let's make our pumpkin stem. It's time to get creative. I'm using some of the plastic Dollar Tree straws and some masking tape. I'm just getting the thickness that I want. You're going to cut it so it's the length that you need, and then I'm just taking the masking tape to wrap it around the straws to create more of like a thick, girthy base. Now it ends up looking a little bit sus, if you know what I mean, but we're going to wrap it in twine and it'll end up looking alright in the end. It would not be a Sensational Finds DIY if I did not use jute twine. We're going to wrap this baby in some twine, and then we're going to set it on fire. This helps to give it more of the worn look, and it makes all those little hairs disappear. Now you want to add some pizzazz to the top of your pumpkin. I'm using some wired twine. You can also use some floral leaves. You can add a bow. It really just depends on what you want to do. I used some raffia. I also used some of the wired twine, and that was it. And I love the way that it turned out. It's tedious. It's not time consuming, it's tedious, but it looks adorable and it's affordable. And that's the thing that I absolutely love the most. For our next DIY, I'm going to be making our door wreath using all Dollar Tree items. We're going to be using the same Dollar Tree mop. We're going to be using a wreath form, and then you can use any picks that you want to jazz it up. We're going to start by taking our wreath form and our Dollar Tree mop. We're going to deconstruct the Dollar Tree mop just like we did in the beginning. We're just going to cut the mop head away from all of the strings. We're going to go string by string and wrap it around the wreath form and tie it in the back. This is a tedious project, but in the end it ends up looking really, really good, and you can customize it to how you want with your own decor and your own style. Again, tedious, but I don't mind. I always just put on a show and just sit there and mindlessly do it. It's not a real big problem for me. Once you get all the way done with the entire wreath form, we are going to place a Dollar Tree pumpkin right in the center, so just be aware you don't want to do too small of a wreath form or too big as well. Once that tedious project was done, I went ahead and took my pumpkin and attached it to our wreath form with just a zip tie. This is the easiest way to do it so that you can reuse it in the future, and it's super duper sturdy. So now it's time to add in the picks and pumpkins and any of the decor items that you want to make it as fall and festive as possible. I found these really beautiful floral picks at Walmart for only $2.24, so they're a great deal. I also added in some of the Dollar Tree floral. You could definitely add in more, you could add in less, but in the end, I think that it looks absolutely amazing. It covers this little hole that I have in my door, which I could not stand. I love the fact with this wreath, you can reuse all of these pieces in different projects or in different years. I love it. I'm happy with the way that it turned out, and I think it looks perfect on our door. The next DIY was inspired by a TikTok that I saw that I knew I had to give it a try. I'm using wooden letters from Staples, 4 of the blessed signs, and chalk paint. I'm going to start by taking the pumpkin and deconstructing it, taking the bliss sign off, taking the raffia off, and we're going to use 2 coats of chalk paint. The chalk paint is amazing because it hides any imperfections and it's super easy to work with. So I would definitely recommend getting this Waverly chalk paint from Walmart. Next up, we're going to go ahead and paint the letters. I found these letters at Staples, but you can also find them at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. They're 4-inch letters, so they're super affordable. You could also use little stickers or your Cricut, whatever you have on hand. I'm painting them black because I want them all to be pretty monochromatic, so black and white. And that's just what we're going to be doing on our DIY, but you can definitely make it your own. To make it more like a pumpkin, I'm just using a pencil and the eraser to create little false lines, and then I went through and erased them all just so that they're super light. I'm using my favorite Gorilla Hot Glue to glue them on, but you could also use E6000 or wood glue. For the base of this DIY, I'm using the Dollar Tree broom handle. They come individual, super easy to work with. I'm also using a Dollar Tree pot, and I'm using one of these foam blocks to hold it all together. I'm just starting by placing the foam block inside of the bucket, and then we're going to take our broom handle and place that right into the foam block. To attach the pumpkins to the handles, I'm just using zip ties. This way you're able to reuse it. You don't have to work with hot glue, and it worked perfectly. I'm just placing one pumpkin over the top so that it hides the little zip tie, and in the end, I was pretty proud because it did work out amazing. I decorated it with some leaves and a cute little bow, and now you have a cute fall sign that you can use indoor. If you do want to use it outdoor, I would spray it with some type of clear spray so that it doesn't wear real easy, but I absolutely love the way that it looks inside. Basically, one of the first areas that I decorated in my house was this little area in my bathroom, and I am obsessed with the way that it turned out. I love the colors, so I wanted to create a little soap dispenser that went along with it. So I created this little SVG file for my Cricut. If you guys want it, you can use it as well. I'll put a downloadable link in the description box below, but I'm just using the Dollar Tree soap dispenser and my Cricut machine to make it. Once I have the design put into my Cricut design space, I'm going to go ahead and print it out with my Cricut Joy. Weeding this thing is you know what, it ain't easy, honey, because it's all these little pieces, but I did it and I love the way that it turned out. Always been the one who's keeping it cool, the kind of guy who chill while others hurry. I didn't know that I've been the fool. I've been telling lies about something real, but I know love is based on honesty. For this project, I'm using the Dollar Tree transfer tape, and it was a little bit hard to work with. The decals didn't come off as easy, but overall it was super duper simple. I made sure to wipe down the surface with rubbing alcohol first, then I placed on my pumpkins, and it is adorable, honey. I love the way that it turned out. You could do this on a mug, you could do it on a little mason jar. Super duper cute, and it's just like that fun little fall touch that it adds to the bathroom that I am literally obsessed with, and it costs like $2.50, like super inexpensive. I know we've all seen the Dollar Tree decorative rugs, and they are adorable, but they're super small, so here's a way that you can take them up a notch. We're going to be using an outdoor tablecloth, the Dollar Tree rug, and we're also going to be using the little rug liner that they sell at Dollar Tree. I'm just starting by cutting out the size that I want. The best thing about these outdoor tablecloths are they're meant for outdoors, so they hold up really well. Now, they're not meant to be stomped on, or you don't want to put stuff on top of it because it will kind of tear, but just using it as a mat underneath the Dollar Tree rug ends up looking super duper cute. I just cut it out to the size that I wanted, and then I hot glued the little rug liner to the bottom so that it won't move, you won't fall and bust your butt, and it's pretty secure, it won't blow away. I was made to be free. I am made to be free. Once it's all glued, you can take it outside or you can use it indoor, and it looks so much better than just having the $1 rug placed down. It adds a little bit of something to it, I think, and I love the way that it turned out. Here's another area in my house. It's my dining room table, which I'm obsessed with. I used a mixture of the Dollar Tree pumpkins and also the Target Dollar Spot pumpkins. I had this old little centerpiece that I kept on taking apart, and I wasn't going to keep it, but I decided to take all the greenery out. I added in the pumpkins, and then I kind of sporadically placed the greenery back into it, and I added some extra little floral. I love it with our table runner, and it's probably one of my favorite areas of our house. Here's a little look at the kitchen area, which I'm also obsessed with. And I know we've all seen the little Target risers. They're in the Target Dollar Spot section. You can find them online, 2 for $10. But here's a way you can create your own using Dollar Tree items. We're going to be using the wooden cubes. You could also use the Jenga pieces, and we're going to be using the bamboo cutting board. I'm starting by taking my Dollar Tree wood glue, and we're just gluing however tall you want it to be. You're just going to glue that many pieces of the wooden cubes. Again, if you want to use the Jenga pieces, this is one way you won't have to glue it, but these little wood pieces worked fine. One thing I would recommend that I did not do is I would definitely stain everything first, because once you put the wood glue down, like, the stain doesn't stick as well. So definitely stain it first and then go ahead and glue it, but you'll see it turns out being okay. Once I have it the height that I want, then I'm just taking my little cubes and I'm using the wood glue to attach it right to our little bamboo cutting board. We're going to let it dry completely, and then we're going to use the stain that I just had on hand. You could also use the Dollar Tree stain pens. Whatever you have will work, but the stain made it look so much more like the Target Dollar Spot version. Once it's all dry, you can place it in your coffee bar, you can use it in your kitchen. It's super duper cute, really affordable, and super simple to make. But let me know what you think. I would love to know your guys' opinions. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, leave a comment. If you're a real one, then you know what it is. Leave the hidden word Chase in the comment section down below. Leave it in a funny, snarky, cute kind of way, and I'll feature some of you guys in my next video. Here are some real ones from my previous video. Wherever you are safe, happy, and healthy, and doing amazing. You can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. I am there 24/7. If you want to follow, I'm just at Sensational Finds. I did get personal on my Instagram, but I will talk more about that here on the channel and also on the podcast. We're sharing some personal details over on Instagram. So go follow over there if you are interested, and I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye, you guys.